Hi everybody, special spectacular video today. I got this neat NESPi 4 case and we're going to unbox it and put it together. So today we're going to update my Raspberry Pi that is acting as my DHCP server. So let's dive in and take a look at what we have. Okay, so we've got some instructions. We'll save those for next. We have this cute Raspberry Pi case that looks like a Nintendo, an early Nintendo device. It's got a case. It has a cartridge in it that you can put an SSD into, and then you can put the SSD in, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to put an SSD in here and we're going to boot from the SSD to the Raspberry Pi. This is just a power cable. Let's see. And I think yeah, it's 5 volts at 3 amps. So it's a pretty good power cable. USB-C on the other end because it's for Raspberry Pi 4. Now, if we open this up, there's lots of goodies inside. We have some screws and a screwdriver, as well as a couple of sticky pads here so that we can stick the Raspberry Pi to the fan here. And it seems like it's a pretty good fan. It's kind of small. It's supposed to be small, right? About that big. We'll set that aside. Please remove the SD card before installing the Raspberry Pi. That's good, because you might break the SD card. Okay, next, if we look around in here, we have a USB-A that goes to the front panel that you can see here. Here. And then a USB-C, or a USB-A 3.0 that goes to the other panel, or to the other side. Here, here, and here. And then you've got this cable here that plugs onto the Raspberry Pi to get the data to and from, well, this goes into this is a jack for the Ethernet. That goes to here. I don't know if you can see that. And then power goes in there to power this whole contraption. And then up here in the lid is another USB-A 3.0 that connects to the shuttle, the cartridge. See, the cartridge plugs in there and then connects to the Raspberry Pi 3. Okay, let's go ahead and put this together. Let's see what screws we have first. So as I showed, that comes with a screwdriver, some pads, some sticky pads, as well as some screws. Screwdriver seems to be magnetic. So there's 2, 4, 6 of these long screws. There's 2 tiny screws, and then there's 2 medium screws, and 2 more of these. Okay, and then the pads. Let's look at the instructions. First, we need to assemble it. First, we put the pads on the processor and the memory chip of the Raspberry Pi. They look similar. I'm not sure if they're identical, but we'll put this pad on here. And we'll put this pad on here. There we go. Next, we put it into our case. Carefully now. Oh, I didn't follow the directions. Take the SD card out first. Okay, let's plug some of these in. Plug that in there. Plug that in there. And then this should just sit right down there. Plug this in. Sorry. Here. Oh, maybe it needs to be done before we seat it. Oops. Fix that in just a second. There we go. Now, let's fix this here. I disconnected this RJ45 from the board. I just want to make sure that that's in there nice and tight. Okay. You can see that there's a handy guide on this wire here that shows where or how to connect this to the GPIO board, so you don't get mixed up. You just slide it in on the end pins there, and then we need a little bit of space because the next thing that we want to do is put on the fan. So the fan is like this. We want to pull these wires up. Well, let's see, where do the wires connect to? Oh, the wires connect over here. So we'll pull this out, and we'll make sure that this is snug. Okay, that's going to be good. So we're going to take the top of these sticky pads off. To help the thermal transfer. And then we put the fan on. It says these two B's on the inside ones, so on these two. So those two must get fitted with these screws later on. So let's screw these in. Oops. Okay, that's in tight. Now we want to plug this guy in. Make sure it's lined up. Plug that little adapter in, and we're good to go there. Now we want to turn on safe shutdown. there's a little switch right here. Not sure if you can see it. Let me try zooming in here. See right here, there's a little switch. No, you're not going to be able to see it. Anyway, there's a switch right here to turn on or off the safe shutdown, and I've turned it on. Next we put the case on. We connect this wire, this USB 3 cable, to this port here. Like that. Make sure everything is snug. Then we put the case on. We flip it over. And we put these 6 screws in. And I'm going to get a different screwdriver. Now it should go on a little easier. I think this is the last screw. There we go. And the case is all built. Now, before we move on, there's the little matter of this cartridge. And inside this cartridge, we're going to put this SSD card, or this SSD. So we pull it apart. Front shell is here, back shell is here. And we want this in there so that the connector is here on this side. And you can see that it just goes right in and it fits into place. Real nice. And then we put the top on. Wait, do we put the top on? Yeah, we put the top on. We put the top on. Make sure it's nice and tight. We flip it over. Now these mini screws here go into the case to connect to the SSD. To connect to the SSD. To hold the SSD in place. One last screw. And there we have our cartridge, which is an SSD. Now what's next? Next, we put it together. Here's the case. We lift up on the top. We slide the cartridge in. And it connects just like a NES cartridge. And we can close the lid. There's a power button and a reset button. There's a trap down here where you can put your SSD cards. And that's it. It's a pretty nice case. And I'm going to run my DHCP server. Thank you for watching. This has been another Spectacular video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you.